I think the improvement of a lot of their role players, and they have a very big-time interior presence with Obiagu and Gill. I'm very familiar with those guys. I thought from jump they were one of the best teams, if not the best team in the country. They got a lot of weapons, and they should be a favorite to win a national championship.
Is Miles the most dynamic player in the league?
I think he is. I think he's the most dynamic scorer in the league. And he doesn't need a lot of shots to score. He's efficient from three. He gets to the free throw line, and he can score tough twos. And when you can score at that level, you're a dangerous weapon.
You have during the summertime. He's pretty much a character presence type.
He's a lot of fun to be around. He's got a lot of swag. He's got a lot of confidence. And I think he's a hell of a teammate. I think his teammates enjoy playing with him. I think he's a carer. I think he's a giver. He deserves all the accolades that he's getting, and I couldn't be happier for him. I hope he don't play well tomorrow. I hope he has one of those 1 for 30 nights, and hopefully the Friars can get lucky and win a game.
How confident is he? Because David spoke of that as well, and it oozes off him.
He's one of the more confident kids I've ever been around, and he backs it up. He backs it up. You just have to make sure he has tough catches, contested shots. You got to make him guard down the other end. But when you're around him, he's such a grateful kid. He's very appreciative. And I didn't know that about him until I spent 3 weeks with him. Miles Cale as well, very well-mannered. It's going to be a little awkward in some sense, but at the same time, they're playing for their life as we're playing for ours.
And Kevin, did you truly room with him, or is that kind of a tale?
Well, when we were in Peru, it was a very small suite. And it was 8 of us in a 20 by 20 block, maybe. Wow. So Mike Martin and I were roommates. Kevin Kerbeck and Kevin Willard were roommates. Bob Walsh and John Rock were roommates, and we had two coaches that were table tennis. We couldn't call it what we call it ping pong. They got very upset when we called it ping pong. I told them in my hood it's called ping pong. That's what I told them.
Just how different has it been preparing for all these teams after spending all this time with some of the top players in the league this year? Not just Miles, but you played Creighton, you had Tyshawn Alexander, guys like that.
I tell you, I gave him a big hug. I was upset at him, but I was happy for him at the same time. When you coach these teams and you have these all-star teams and you've coached them, even when you've recruited kids like that, you're happy for them in one sense and pissed in the other. But you got to give credit. It'll be tough, but at the same time, we're here to do a job. Providence College got to play well. Our players got to do their job, and if we do it, we're going to give ourselves an opportunity to win.
I know you talked about it the other day, but with David, did you see a performance like this coming from him with his growing confidence and just his rise as a sophomore?
I said it before, I'll say it again. David is the hardest working kid I've ever coached. He utilizes this building. He works on his conditioning. He works on his game, watching film, ball handling, shooting. I see it every day in practice. He just has to have more confidence. It's not like he can't do it. He just has the confidence to get out there and know he will do it. The best is yet to come from David Duke.
How's AJ coming along?
AJ practiced yesterday. He'll be ready to go tomorrow. I thought he had a good practice yesterday. So hopefully he's not what we call Dizzy Dan. I think he'll be ready to go, and we're going to need him.
That execution down the stretch the other day, I'm sure that's what you've been thinking about in the last couple of days. What do you take from there, and what do you think you would change?
I don't know how much I would change. I thought we got the ball to the guy we wanted to get it to. I thought, we got to get a shot up. You got to give it a chance to either get an offensive rebound or let the ball go in the basket. We got the ball in the middle of the floor where we wanted it. We got the ball to the player that we wanted it. I don't know if I would change anything,
And defensively?
Defensively, I probably would have looked at the matchup a little bit more. As when we came out, I thought we were a little scrambled. We probably had a longer defender on them. They did something and we shouldn't have switched. So, the game was right there for us. It's those little things. And we practice late game situations all the time. You know, we got to get to the free throw line a little bit more. But when you're playing on the road, anything could happen. You know, for the most part, the home team is going to get a benefit of the doubt somewhere during the game.
You talked a lot about the opportunity that the league possesses, and this is the number 10 team in the country. Does this possess an even bigger opportunity for you guys, or is it just another opportunity in the Big East because you have so many of them?
I would say it's another. You know, at some point we got to try to win a couple of these games. This is a big week for us with Seton Hall and Villanova both ahead of us in the standings and both doing a really good job. So opportunities knocking. You know what I think about opportunity? Kick the door down and don't ask who it is because opportunity's knocking.
What's it like having the opportunity to host the kids from the West come through the game for you guys?
All the wish come to is, win or lose. I think when young men and women and families struggle with kids that have disabilities, it does bring perspective on winning and or losing. To see these families smile, to have their young men or young women in the locker room, being able to see our players. I think Steve Napolo has done a great job bringing them into our family because it really is. Those young men and women suffer from a lot of different ailments. The families are up at night. They're in hospitals. They go through surgeries. They go through things we who have healthy children don't even think about. So that's something that's dear to our heart, and we're going to be there for those young men and women as much as we can.
All right, thank you, Ed.